Best friends, bitter enemies. Hi, I'm Attack Slug. Welcome back to my Let's Play of the 2K Showcase mode in 2K15 for the PS4. If you're looking for additional comments on the situation with my Xbox 360, I have none. What happened happened. Let's move on. Let us continue to make video content on this channel. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to hit X here and see how the start of the Shawn Michaels Triple H 2K Showcase mode is going to happen. Obviously, this is a video package that you're not going to see because if I include any video package, they're going to block this video globally, as happened before with Episode 5. So, unfortunately, I get to watch it, and I can't put it on YouTube because it's actual footage. But as I have said before, my memories of this era when Shawn Michaels returned in 2002, it's very, very hazy. I remember Shawn coming back. I remember Triple H hitting him with a sledgehammer, and that's about all I actually recall from that feud. I remember Shawn wearing jeans, and it seemed really real to me. Like, having known that he had his real-life injuries, I'm like, are you really going to hit him in the back with a sledgehammer? Like, you're legitimately... I legitimately believed he was going to cripple the man. Like, that's how good they were. So, we're going to get into this and see what the first event is here, what the first match is. There are 14 events here. I usually try to do obviously at least one event a day, sometimes two, depending on the amount of time I had. Probably just one for this one, because obviously there's going to be this big long video package here in the beginning, so we're just going to have one. But that's okay. Shawn got his head smashed into a car window, but it was Triple H all along. I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. It was you, Hunter. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Oh, son of a bitch. So, this is a much different era. Like, all these shots with the blood are all, like, in black and white now, because they want to, have a PG product, and, that's interesting. But I thought it was crazy the fact that Shawn Michaels, who you thought was done with wrestling, period, actually managed to come back and then have a career for years after that, put on some amazing matches, and this is where it all started when he came back in 2002. So, we're going to get into it here as soon as this video package decides to wrap up, because at this point it's been a couple of minutes, but I do appreciate a bit of a non-sanctioned match. As I've said, my memory of this era is hazy as hell. So, Shawn Michaels wrestling in jeans and cowboy boots is really funny to me. Because considering the last time that I had seen him in a ring was, 97, before he left. So, here he is, pretty much wearing the Dean Ambrose outfit and the Luke Harper outfit, jeans and a wife beater. But yeah, he's got like the chaps on, but he's wearing the chaps and the jeans. Like, I don't know at what point someone thought that was a good idea or a good look, and like nobody told him otherwise. It's kind of weird. It's like you can't. They're trying to sell it. It's an unsanctioned match, and therefore he's not coming to the ring in wrestling tights. But at the same time, it's kind of weird. But yeah, appreciate having Howard Finkel here, obviously, because that is actually accurate. Now, these generic signs in the crowd, perhaps, like the one saying that they like crazy chicks, obviously not accurate for that time period. And certainly, there were a lot more signs in the crowd during that time period. But I can't fault the game people too much. This is just one little part of your game, so do what you're going to do with it. But Yeah, here's the return of Shawn Michaels, and then I'm gonna hit the X button here because this keeps going. Like, those entrances keep going for a little bit, so we're gonna get to the game. Triple H, back when he had hair. So we're gonna let this entrance play out. We're gonna let JBL and Cole and the King do their little spiel here, which I have not actually gone back and watched this pay-per-view, but I would make the assumption that this match was called by Jim Ross and not Michael Cole. And I'm probably right there. I'm not going to go back and check, but that seems pretty accurate to me. So, unfortunate that when this game was made, Jim Ross was no longer employed by WWE because of the unfortunate events that happened at the 2K14 video game panel at SummerSlam when Ric Flair was super drunk. It was like 2 years ago at this point. Yeah, that whole situation was just real bad, that Jim Ross was in charge of that symposium and was not able to rein in a drunk and grieving at that point, because that was pretty soon after his son had died, Ric Flair. So that whole situation, and Ric Flair is still under his Legends contract. Jim Ross was like, "See ya, Jim." Like, I get that they had to have someone take the fall for that, but it's still, for a guy like Jim Ross who was so loyal for so long, that's just kind of unfortunate. But from what I hear, Jim Ross might actually be doing some work for this year's game. So whether or not they get that contract hashed out, that'd be nice to see. And we are playing here as the showstopper, Shawn Michaels, and our goal is to critically damage Triple H. So we're going to do that. In this unsanctioned match. But man, just the jeans and the cowboy boots that are actually wrestling boots, they look like cowboy boots. Like, what? Who told Shawn that was a good idea? Who let him out of the house like that, is my question. Luthez press, Stone Cold. By God. So as always, we're just getting up our meter as high as possible. I'm curious as to what this game considers Shawn Michaels' signature. I don't actually know. But it has not forced me into any chain wrestling yet, so that's always good, because I find the chain wrestling in this game to be, dumb. And I don't want to do it. So if I can possibly avoid it, that should have been a rope break. I'm not gonna. It might not. There might not be any rope breaks. So this is not a quote unquote sanctioned match. However, you would think if the match is unsanctioned, that's too far. No, is that too far for Shawn Michaels? Oh, that's not cool. Yeah. This part, like, he's hitting him in that surgically repaired back with that chair, is messed up. But, I forgot what I was going to say there. Anyway, yeah. Here's hoping that Jim Ross does work on this year's game, so that these 2K showcase things can be accurate with the accurate announcers of Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. So, I don't know. That's like, obviously there are things that you can and can't do depending on who is alive. Like, if you did a showcase, for the very olden days, like, I have not played the Ultimate Warrior showcase yet, but I'm gonna assume they had Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler calling those Warrior moments when it should have been, Vince McMahon, Jesse Ventura, Monsoon, Heenan, like that era of commentary. And I'm gonna assume they didn't sit Vince in the booth, and obviously you can't do Monsoon because he passed away, and Heenan is in no shape, with the cancer to be doing any kind of video game announcing. So like that part of it I get, but Jim Ross totally alive and could do commentary. He just did a whole pay-per-view for New Japan, for Global Force, doing that New Japan show in the Tokyo Dome, which was fantastic, by the way. And he does his podcast every week. A Singapore Kane? Really? Really? So I still have to critically damage him. And that's kind of all there is to it. I don't know. So yeah, the unfortunate part of having a finite budget, and B, having a finite time span for these games. Obviously, you're going to be as accurate as you can with the amount of time that you've been given, and considering that there is the demand to put them out on a yearly basis, whether or not that's a prudent decision, because you don't have, like, when you put out Madden every year, it isn't the same team working on Madden. They have two teams that do Madden, and they are on a 2-year cycle, so it kind of goes back and forth between the two teams who work on Madden. Call of Duty has 3 teams now, so each team has a full game development. They have a full amount of time that you should have to make a game, and that's great. WWE only has Ukes, so Ukes is stuck doing the same stuff every year, and so you're only going to get minimal improvements when you can, you only have so much time to make the game happen, which is unfortunate that there is not a larger fan base for these games, because a larger fan base would mean a larger budget. So, Sweet Chin music. Tuning up the band. And I don't lay down for anybody. Pedigree. Triangle. Or, I'm sorry. Square. I got him. Alright, let's say, I better get my check mark there. I did what you told me to do. Thanks. And that's another thing. Like, I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, I'm going to assume that referee should be Earl Hebner in 2002. But, I mean, it's not going to be, the generic model of the referee. It's going to be Earl Hebner. Because, this would have been, actually, I don't know. Would this have been who was the champion at this point? And what was the main event? Was it still Austin? Or at that point, did he take his ball and go home? I honestly don't know. So, actually, I think my homework might be going back and watching that pay-per-view, and seeing what that looks like. Because, obviously, I have not done it in a long time. And here is another video package that obviously you aren't seeing, but I am, because of the very stringent YouTube content ID rules in terms of actual video. And it's all black and white because, they got all bloody, because, that's back when they could still get all bloody and, not get fined for it, and not have the doctors come out with, like the super glue and the towels. Alright, Undisputed Champion Brock Lesnar. Lesnar was your champion at this point. Back when Lesnar still worked a full-time schedule and didn't have a giant sword tattoo on his chest. So, alright, this was the introduction of the big gold belt, when Eric Bischoff just handed Triple H the World Heavyweight Championship. So, people might believe that was the WCW Championship, but it was not. Eric Bischoff, it looks like it, and he kind of just handed it to him. So that belt does not have the lineage that the WCW title had. And I hated when they always pretended that it did. It's like, no, that was the Triple H belt. They just handed him that. And then here's Shawn Michaels trolling Triple H, and then he can walk again, and he's fine. And, yeah, it's good times. So, I think we're going to go into the Elimination Chamber next, and that'll be tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. But as always, we're going to watch the intros the day before, so that we know, so that tomorrow we can just go right into the match itself. So I think, or no, this is just a match on Raw? Is that actually Lillian Garcia? Did they actually record appropriate, hold on, I'm curious. Alright, keep playing them, yeah, okay. Do the announcing. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Justin Roberts. Shockingly enough. Oh yeah, that's totally Lillian Garcia. I am surprised they actually got her to do any voice work for this game, considering most of it's just Justin Roberts. Obviously, we got a little bit of Howard Finkel in there. But here's some accuracy in the fact that we are getting Lillian Garcia, and I'm going to assume in this year's game it's going to be all Lillian Garcia and Eden Styles. Which begs the question, where is Tony Chimmel? Is he still employed? Like, I don't even know. What's he been doing? But yeah, here is Triple H with the big gold belt, which is not the WCW belt. It is the Eric Bischoff belt, because he just kind of goes, here you go, here's a belt. And that was always kind of a weird thing that they did, but they wanted to have 2 belts for 2 shows, and obviously eventually went and did the brand split and had a belt on each show. And then many years later, finally unified those belts, and then made it into one belt again, so that there is no secondary title. Oh, good. I'm gonna fight Kane, because, yeah. I mean, at least 2002 Kane was more relevant than, 2015 Kane, in terms of being a legitimate threat in the ring. But, at the same time, it's still Kane, so... Nothing against Kane as a dude. I think Glenn Jacobs is a nice dude, but at this point in Kane's career, I am just so tired of Kane. I think he occasionally does some really good stuff, and I think that certainly when you give him good material, he excels at it phenomenally. I just don't want to see him in matches anymore. Just like transition him to like a backstage guy, or a trainer, or, you can have him on TV. I just don't want to see him in matches anymore. Because at this point, the dude's like, in his late 40s, he's a grandfather, like, he doesn't need to be working matches anymore. It's insane. But, that is what it is. This is 2002 Kane, and this match is going to start, and I'm going to end this video. I'm going to tell you that, as always, I am your host, Attack Slug. This is a casket match? How about that? Alright. I wonder if Shawn Michaels is in the casket. So yes, as always, this has been my Let's Play of the 2K Showcase mode in 2K15 for the PS4. I am your host, Attack Slug, and I will see you next time, right here on this channel. And I'm out.